In this video, we're going to have a look at how we can get the press enter scene happening on the splash screen. So when our splash card shows. So this is going to involve the usage of events as well as timers and fonts. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a font. And I've already got one here, basic, but I don't want to use this green one because I've already used this for the score. I want to use a white press enter. So I'll click on here, create new font, and then I'll say splash font like so. Perfect. And then everything looks alright. I'm happy with that, but I don't like the color because if it's black, it's not going to have enough contrast against the back screen. So we'll set it to not white because that's a bit aggressive. We'll set it to gray like so. Alright, we're done with our splash font. The next thing we have to do is we have to look at the code that introduces the splash card. So pretty much as soon as we see the splash card, we want to put in our font of press enter to cue the player to click OK on the scene. Now to do that, we're going to go into our scenes because it's implemented in our splash screen. Go in there and have a look at the code. Now looking at this, we need to figure out which part of this code implements the splash card. So looking at it, it's not created, it's not generate aliens, it's not keyboard, but rather after n seconds. So after n seconds of scatter, well, what does scatter mean? Let's have a look. Scatter means show game attributes. Scatter means 15.7. So what we can see is after 15.7 seconds, it's going to trigger the event show in all behaviors of splash title. So what this is telling us here is after 15.7 seconds, it's going to show our splash card. Now this is the condition where we want to show our text of press enter. So there's two ways we can go about it. The first one is we could make a new actor that says press enter, or another way we can do it is we can draw a font to the screen and then tell the screen to show the font after this amount here has elapsed. So I think the easiest way and the cleanest way to do it would be that way. So going into it, we're going to go add event. Then we're going to say basic when drawing. And what we want to do is we want to set font to the one we've just made, our splash font. And then we want to draw text. So we'll say draw text like so. And then it will be draw text anything at this. So drag that in. Basically what we want to do is we want to draw our press enter at, and let's have a think about it. Where do we want to put it? Do we want to put it, well, we sort of want to go around here. So if the screen itself is, let's have a look. So the position of our splash title, that's not very helpful. If our screen itself is 640 pixels across by 480 pixels down, and we want it to display somewhere around here, then this is about, let's say, 4/5 of the screen down and somewhere in between the middle. So what we'll say is, let's go about 640 by 480. So we'll go 320 by about, let's go 380. So 640 by 480. Alright, so we're 100 pixels up and roughly in the middle. And then to compensate for the text, we'll just go 300. So if we play this now, what we'll find is that at the splash screen at the very beginning, it will just say press enter over here. Now the thing is, we want to display it after the splash card has been displayed. So what we're going to do is we'll have a variable and we'll call it we'll call it, say, can show. Where are we? Behavior, attributes. All right, cool. So we'll create a new one called can show. And this will be of type Boolean. So a Boolean itself is a variable that can be either true or false, yes or no, or on or off. So we're going for can it show or can it not show. So that will be created there. And its initial value, we'll set it to false. Perfect. All right. So what we're going to say is if can show, where are we? If can show, then draw this text on the screen. If it can't show, then that's too bad. Now we need to trigger the condition of when it actually can show. So we're going to go into here, and then we'll say into the setters, set can show to, and then we're going to set it to true. There we go. All right. So whenever the splash title is shown, it will set can show to true, and therefore it will show, or it will draw press enter on the screen. It will draw press enter on the screen. Now the next level of complexity we might want to add is we want it to pulse. So the way in which we can do that is we can have another Boolean, and if this guy here and the other one are true, then it can show the text, otherwise don't show the text. So we'll create another attribute, and we'll call it pulse on, and it will be a Boolean as well. Right, perfect. Now pulse on, and we want to do a comparison. If can show and pulse on is on, then we can draw the text. Now, to get the pulse on and off to happen, we're going to use a timer. So we'll go into add event, add timer every n seconds, and we'll get it to do it every 0.5. We'll go to attributes, and every 0.5 we're going to set pulse on to pulse on, and then we want to negate it. So if pulse on is true, then we want to set it to false, and if it's false, we want to set it to true. So we're going to look for the negate, like so. Okay, not the negate, the not, that's better, like so. And then what we'll find is if we execute this code, after the splash title shows, it's going to start flashing press enter to cue us to go into the game. So this video has been a demonstration of how to get a splash title press enter going using the implementation of timers, attributes, and some flow statements such as if.